Like I said in my tweet yesterday, there are two Rings of Power articles deserving of a rant, and both conveniently written by the same stupid bitch. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm back with another video, and here is the first one, written by Alice Rose Dodds, entitled, How Rings of Power Changed Audience Perceptions of the, quote, Evil Races. Say you know nothing about Tolkien without saying you know nothing about Tolkien. Within the subtitle, the lines between good and evil, or good and bad, have begun to blur for Tolkien's beings, and it makes for a more compelling story. Say you know nothing about Tolkien, again, without saying you know nothing about Tolkien, because Tolkien is expressly, succinctly, distinctly clear in differences between good and evil amongst the races. No moral ambiguity, no gray area whatsoever. Hell, there's even distinctions amongst the human race of good versus evil. But, again, he is expressly clear. It's one of the major themes permeating his text, interwoven amongst the other themes, and that is good versus evil. Literally, and figuratively, and symbolically. Good versus evil. Alright? Here's where anyone worth their weight as a Tolkien fan won't take long for you to want to rant, because here it is, in the very first fucking sentence. The recent Rings of Power series has gone a long way towards rectifying one of the biggest criticisms of both Tolkien's works and Peter Jackson's subsequent movie trilogy adaptations. The word this woman has the fucking gall to use is rectifying, meaning Rings of Power is correcting Tolkien. The nerve of this woman, the nerve of these shills, that this series at all that's butchered and massacred the lore is correcting Tolkien. That criticism is its representation of the evil races. In the original stories of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, there is a clear and definite distinction between the good races in the world, including the elves and the hobbits, and the bad races in the world, like the orcs and the goblins. Again, I pointed out that there's also a distinction in good versus in evil amongst the human race, right? But they don't want to acknowledge that. They just want to look at the species again. But again, Tolkien is expressly clear. He's also expressly clear on evil in his letters. When he's answering people's questions and so forth, read his letters. Alice Rose Dodds, if you can go read anything beyond that of your little Twitter feed. Alright? Read his letters. He goes into great detail. He goes into great detail on good versus evil in answering any inquiry from his fans. Alright? And she drops the word problematic here. However, it is problematic enough to suggest that any race is completely homogenous and that there is no diversity in consciousness or morality among them. This bitch, as well as the showrunners, are interjecting their own politics, their own sociopolitical, even moral code, where it doesn't belong. They're interjecting their own modern-day interpretations of the world into a work that's, again, expressly clear, with the world building and the lore and so forth, good versus evil, and having the audacity to claim it is correcting Tolkien. But that's not all. That's not all, because the same moron, Alice Rose Dodds, wrote this article right here. Rings of Power's female characters succeed where Lord of the Rings fails. Claiming, in the subtitle, women of Rings of Power embody the difference between powerful moments and powerful characters. Bitch, please. Bitch, fucking please. Galadriel, on the left. Galadriel, very first character in this picture on the left. One of the most powerful characters, not just female characters, but powerful characters in Tolkien's writing, within Middle-earth. She doesn't need a sword. She really does not need a sword. That's how powerful she is. She can actually read people. And when I say read people, I mean their innermost thoughts and desires and so forth. She can feel the turmoil, the emotional turmoil going on within Boromir. The scene where she and Celeborn are looking at the remainder of the Fellowship, because it's after Gandalf has fallen. And Boromir has to look away because she is reading into him. Like, literally reading into him. That's how powerful she is. Arwen is powerful in her own right as well. Not depicted as a warrior elf princess in the books versus the films, but again, powerful in her own right because she is willing to sacrifice herself, literally, for the man she loves. Meaning that she's willing to stay in Middle-earth to be with Aragorn at the expense of her immortality. She stays in Middle-earth. She's willing to stay in Middle-earth, even though that means she's going to die. When she does that. Éowyn. I don't think I need to say anything more other than she's the one who slays the Witch King. A powerful creature in Middle-earth. The Witch King. Servant and commander under Sauron. Whose prophecy stated, no man can kill him. Well, guess what? A woman did. And a hobbit, I might add. But a woman did. She slayed the Witch King. She protected her uncle Theoden, who had fallen on the battlefield in Pelennor Fields, and slayed the Witch King, nearly killing herself as a result. But they fail? They fail? You're telling me Bronwyn, a non-canonical character, what's there to her character other than being a healer? And somehow selected as leader, even though she has demonstrated no leadership qualities whatsoever. What's there to her character? What is there to her character? The forbidden love? Alright, whatever. Really? The race swapped Muriel, the bastardization of that character, galore. And I'm not just talking about the race swapping. They completely butcher her character. Calling her a Queen Regent when her title was not Regent. Bastardizing the timeline and so forth. Then, in name only, Galadriel, borderline Mary Sue. And I only say borderline because, according to one of the definitions for a Mary Sue character, everyone likes her, so she doesn't exactly fit that, but she's fucking close. Other than her grating on people's nerves, I'm talking about in name only Galadriel, does anybody remember anything she fucking did in the series? Actually noteworthy as a character, not just a badass female character, huh? Like this, like how this woman, again, has the gall to claim one of the biggest and most common criticisms of Tolkien's stories and the Peter Jackson movie adaptations of The Lord of the Rings is the lack of strong and heroic female characters. There are only 3 notable women in the original trilogy: Arwen, Éowyn, and Galadriel. Completely ignoring that it should be quality over quantity, because when you put quantity over quality, you lose the substance. They become one-dimensional. They become boring as fuck. They become easily forgettable, much like these 3 on the right. Easily fucking forgettable, versus the 3 on the left. Memorable, strong, powerful, in their own rights. Nothing to do with their sex or anything like that, just they are powerful characters. But somehow again, this woman, this bitch here, Alice Rose Dodds, has the gall to spin the shilling for Rings of Power by attacking Tolkien and claiming there's been this pervasive criticism surrounding his works. And I say, exclude Twitter. I'm talking to this bitch right here, Alice Rose Dodds. Exclude Twitter. Exclude the ring from the crowd on Twitter. And look past your fucking Twitter feed. Go back 10 years, 20 years, hell, even back to the publication of The Hobbit in 1937. Go through all those and actually find people who are criticizing the lack of female characters or the representation of evil races in Tolkien, save for any constructive criticism about the works. Alright? Actually, people complaining about shit like this. Go back. Go back. I fucking dare you, Alice. I fucking dare you. But at any rate, what are your thoughts on these articles down in the comments below? I will post some links to them, so if you want to peruse them at your own pleasure or what have you, go right ahead. I'm not going to go through all of them because, like I said, the rant just started right in the first paragraph because of the gall this woman had, pretty much. But anyway, did you watch Rings of Power? What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you in the middle? Anybody who's watched my channel knows my thoughts on the bastardization of Tolkien's works and the fact that they had no rights to the actual canon, so it was pretty much a Mad Libs puzzle all over the fucking timeline, pretty much. But that's just summing it up right there. But I did reviews for each episode, and I did spoiler talks. If you want to check those out, you're more than welcome to it. And, what are your thoughts on Tolkien's works? What's your favorite work of his? If you consider yourself a Tolkien fan, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion, Children of Hurin, Baron Luthien, all that fun stuff. What's your favorite amongst his works? And that includes published works after his death, because he wrote The Silmarillion before his death. It just wasn't published until after his death, despite what people claim. So, again, also The Hobbit. What are your thoughts on those adaptations? Because general consensus is it's a step down majorly from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so forth. But again, what are your thoughts? All that. Let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments below. I will be live with my co-host, Steve Kenobi, for the top 10 movie discussion tomorrow. It'll be top 10 buddy films. They don't have to start out as buddies per se, but they do have to end either with respect for each other or liking each other. That's basically the buddy film. So if you want to participate in that discussion, have your own top 10 list from 10 to 1 written out, so you can let me know all that fun stuff in the chat as we are going along. That'll be around 8 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel, so come check that out. I will be returning to Twitch once I get the Ethernet cable set up and get my internet kind of going at a constant speed versus up and down with the Wi-Fi connection I'm currently running on. So, again, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is Mara Jade. Catch you on the dark side, and God fucking help me. I need a drink.